Hey everyone out there in Hollywood land, hope you guys have coughed all of that dust out of your lungs because finally the rains came, but they came super late. So the last couple of races have been dust bowl races, and we know that Rustenburg can be super gnarly dust, and that's exactly what went down this weekend at the penultimate round of the Gxccs. It was some of the toughest conditions we have seen. And unfortunately, the rains did come a little bit late. But no matter what, racing keeps going. Gxcc are still staying on point with their championship. And remember, it is a nail biter because this is round number 5 that happened out in Rustenburg. That was last weekend. And now we look forward to the final round. That's 6 rounds counted, 0 throwaways. So it is a real nail biter of a championship. And that's going to go down on most of the gates all the way to Carltonville. This is what went down at Rusties. All this Gxcc racing action is brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield. Gxccs are in the closing stages of their 2023 championship. We head to the penultimate round out at Rusties, Rustenburg. Here we go.
Yeah, we're out here at a place called Waterval, ski pond just on the other side of Rustenburg. Pearler of a venue. It's our 3rd time here, and it just evolves every year. We make changes to the track, bring some new things in, and it's just going to be fantastic.
Before the morning session, as always, we head down into the pits to do a lap and chat to some of the juniors and the quaddies.
I think I'm going to go do good today. I'm feeling confident and I'm just going to go have fun. Yeah, I'm just going to go racing and see if it's going to end on top. I think a whole shot will mean a lot for this race, a lot of dust. So I'm going to get first in the track and just keep first for the whole race.
Yeah, I remember it was pretty dusty. The dust is already coming up, so yeah, this is gonna be a duster, but we'll see how it goes. I obviously like the sand. I hope there's a lot of turns. Yeah, I'm actually in 2nd place. Declan is in 3rd, and Shea is in 1st. So I just need to finish to keep my position. But yeah.
Yeah, it's been well, but had a few I wouldn't say crashes, but sketchy moments. The Gxcc, it's very fun. Next year we might race the nationals, but I think we could bring a 2nd place home. It's very fun, eh? So we got into racing because of Caitlin Pretorius. They're in our motocross racing team. And yeah, I come from motocross, and then we just saw this and tried it out. Very dusty, quite sandy, but I like sand.
No, it's going well so far. Super excited. It's a warm-up for next year. I'm looking at doing a bit of more 2 wheels as well next year. We're going to see what the opportunity brings. Very good. Our team has been doing really well. I haven't had any bike issues yet. Today I'm riding my Suzuki, so we'll see if she can keep up. It's going to be rough, very dry, very dusty, but it's going to be a good challenge, a good kick-off to, or an end-off to the season.
I would say it's 50-50. You know, here in the tight sections it's okay, but as soon as you start hitting the rocks on the mountain, it gets knocky. Championship, I think at the moment I'm on 3rd. I think a point behind 2nd place. So if everything goes well today, I might move up 2nd, and then it's going to be the final race decider. No throwaways, so yeah, they have to count.
Yeah, look, it's been one of those years again for me. I've just been plagued by just one problem after another. So hopefully today, dust permitting or dust excluding, we have a clean run. Yeah, look, I need to have a good run today, otherwise it's going to make things a little bit difficult. I think today the dust is going to be ridiculous again. Just the road on the way in was an indication the dust is going to be hectic today. So yeah, you kind of need to get away and run. But yeah, let's see how it goes today. Yeah, look, it is. It's a bit close. Obviously, my last run, obviously not finishing, hurt the championship a little bit, but it's still mathematically possible. You know, the problem is Franco's young and fit and doesn't get tired. But yeah, there's a chance. So we're gonna, you know, can only go and do what we can do. If the bike holds out, hopefully it's all good.
Yes, yeah, we've been here before. Ek ken die baan, is bly net hier so net buitekant Rustenburg. So ja, hier is tyd waar ons oefen, waar ons ry. So dis lekker, ja. Ja nee, ons is 'n bietjie saam. Ek het ook in die begin van die jaar 'n bietjie bad luck gehad, maar verder is druk deur en ons ry lekker saam en ons sien vlakkie kompetisie is lekker. Vandag net lekker ry, alles veilig hou, alles goed doen en dan net my beste gee. Ja, baie dankie vir my ma, my pa het altyd eers vir my bring tot hier so, want ek is jammer wat vir my die fiets doen. Seker maak die fiets altyd reg. Triple S wat altyd vir ons die Gxcc place in die goed opset en dan ja, dankie vir almal wat my support.
Let's take it down to the line. 4 riders going out of the Q1 gate. As always, Brian Hooks with a good launch, but one man is better on his day, and that's Franco Farid. Those are the two guys fighting it out for the championship in 2023. 2 Yami 450s off the front. On the Q2s, which has been historically the biggest gate on the 2023 Gxcc Tour, Hannes delivers the goods on the Banshee, as well as Davy van Staden on the 4x4, but watch out for Tinus Kutzer. He has been rock solid for Gravity Racing the whole way through the championship. Going back down to the quad master, Xander Branken for 421 Racing Development is back in the queue, but so is the KTM of Philip Boyce on his wheel. Quad veterans, Johan Bronkhorst, he knows this area like the back of his hand, and he has plumped this time to go for the big 4x4. So he obviously knows something that none of us do. Rudy Brits was out there in the morning session though, banging bars, getting his Raptor just one nose ahead. On the ladies' gate, gnarly Carly Simon was out there against the Barnards. That's Liesel and Nicole. 5 quad ladies going out of the queue in the morning. But gnarly Carly would be chasing the dudes up the road to see how many of the Q1 and Q2 and Masters and Veterans she could tag on the morning session. Then we went back onto the line to get into the queue for the juniors, starting out with the 85 senior version of the kids, who were chomping at the bit to go out and rip the bars off. Murray Man, as always, fires the Honda out front, but he was going to have some close competition. The rest of the dudes have been getting closer on the tour, and this time around they were on his wheel, but he would have clear air at least for lap number 1.5. For the junior 85s, Rickers van der Merwe absolutely dominating off the gate, with Liam Schippers going out there. The juniors and quads already showing us a promise of the dust to come for the rest of the day. 65 cc's, no big surprise, the whole shot machine, the rocket ship that is Jean-Luc van der Vestes, and fires the Vans Racing Husqvarna out front. Clear air would give him the biggest advantage on the day. And on the 50cc gate, Lincoln Deister was all kinds of fast and aggressive off the line with Calvin Van Deventer and Candy Dupriya. The top 2 riders banging bars, and Dupriya trying to scoot the line around the outside as they got chased out by all the sweepers and the chaperones.
For the juniors, we've got a 14-kilometer loop. Last year it was 13.5, so pretty much the same distance, but let me tell you, it's a busy track for them. Lots of type of motocross twists and turns, thick sand, but the nice thing is this year we're letting them go across the main dirt road and having some fun on a section that the seniors used last year. So I'm guessing, you know, we'll see at the end of the day, but I don't think they're going to run below 20-minute lap times. They're going to be busy out there.
Let's go out there then and climb the ladders. Good entries coming in the late half of the season for the 50cc gate. David Gordon getting a good run going in number 7, with Eben Scholz coming out of the Spherical Logistics squad, improving at every single ride. Looks like he's going to be staying on the 50cc's next season, although we always get these little surprises at round number 1 when a couple of kids do make the jump up. Moto Klerksdorp, Honda and Yamaha rider Travis Levy looking good in a number 5 spot. That should see him cement his place inside of the top 6 for the end of the championship chase. Seb Nell has also been in good form for Spherical Logistics the whole way through the championship, and takes one of his best rides in a number 4. Banging bars early on, but maybe a little bit too aggressive. Lincoln Deister getting the best out of his machine. 4 laps scored and counted for one of the bigger kids on the gate on a J125. And then Kellen Van Deventer, who was banging bars early on with Deister, dropping back just 1 position, bringing home yet another high point scoring finish with a number 2 spot. In the end though, 5.5 minutes off the eventual win. Standout ride of the morning session on the 50cc gate, and probably his best ride of the season, goes to Campbell Dupree. Just let the race come to him. Saw clear air early on lap number 1, and the J503 records a stomping big win at the penultimate round of the Gxccs. Climbing the ladder as we go through the CCs. Wilco Deploy, who should have been out there racing for a win, had a collapsed rear shock early on. That sends him out the back door. Only 3 laps scored and counted for him. 7th place is going to hurt his championship challenge. Carver Godridge then moves up into a number 6 spot. Carver's had a bit of an up and down season, but 6th place will keep him in the money hunt as far as championship glory goes, with just 1 round remaining after this. Ewan Faree up on the big scorecard with a number 5. He almost stayed on the lead lap. 4 laps counted on this really quite challenging layout of a junior track. All the kids came back and said this was how they want to go racing. Olwetu climbing the ladder up into a number 4 spot, with Declan Richards just unfortunately getting dusted out in the morning session. Couldn't get through the dust barrier. 3rd place was the best that he could do, but he did stay on the lead lap, scoring and counting 5 laps. The dominant rider on the 65cc gate throughout 2023 has been Pierre Kutsia. He couldn't get the whole shot, which means he couldn't run out front, eventually losing out by almost 2 minutes to the race winner. But 2nd place will keep him on the top step as far as the big scorecard goes. Jean-Luc van der Westhuizen, clear air, and he ran and hid exactly as he said in his pre-race interview. Got the whole shot, got the cheese, and got gone. JL flying at the penultimate round of the Gxccs to record a strong win. Up the road on the Junior 85s, which historically has given us once again the biggest entries on the day. A 3-horse race to break into single figures. Caitlin Pretorius, Tamaka Marahi and Chris Harmser Jr. were joined at the hip on lap number 1, and they stayed that way almost the whole way through the day. Eventually Harmser getting his nose ahead, recording a number 8. Marahi a number 9 and Pretorius a number 10. Up the road from them was Niak Talani, also coming across and improving on every single ride as the kids cross the border from Botswana to come racing with us. Great to have all of the lads coming across with a lot of motocross experience and bringing that intensity as well. Radicolo Lynchway was up into a number 6 as well. He records one of his best rides of the season as he gets more used to the racing format of the Gxccs. Pierre Buchholz was banging and clanging his way as the track started to whoop out on the junior course with a number 5 ride, staying on the lead lap in a number 6 lap count. Liam Skippers for the Franchise Co. Sleepover CIT Honda squad had a good run going in the morning session, but it did look like fueling strategy was his undoing on the day. Coming out of the gate, running in the 1s and 2s, dropping down to an eventual number 4 finish come the end of play. Twane Tienpont for Gravity Racing was an absolute stellar outright rider on the day. She has been running 1s, 2s and 3s the whole way through the season. She is definitely one of those big names to watch out for as she progresses in her racing championship career. Just getting bested by Jake Pretorius, but she did have Jake the Snake wrapped up in a bow halfway through the race. Jake eventually taking the number 2 spot with Drickus van der Merwe, the big kid on the tour, dominating the gate once again, not only taking the win, but putting almost 5 minutes into his closest rival. Junior 85, throwing down some of the hottest lap times of the morning session. Drickus couldn't get up onto the back wheel of the top runners in the 85cc's though. Let's count them down as the kids made the big climb up the ladder. 10th place going to Willem Jacobs and Ben van Skalkbeek. Then it was Hanyu de Kok getting himself into a number 8 ride, with Bafokeng Letsapo getting it into a number 7 ride. A couple of riders coming out losing their peaks. Some of the tight bush really grabbing the helmet and not letting go. Jaden Else, who was a dominating character a couple of seasons back on the junior 85s, has had a bit of a rough run of it in 2023. Still got his ride with the big factory Honda squad, bringing home a number 6 ride this time around. Michelo Maraponi gets it up into a number 5, with Derek van Aspergen into a number 4. Those two were banging it the whole way through the morning session. Van Aspergen has the straight outright speed, but still hasn't gelled with Dust Bowl racing. 4th was the best that he could do, but he's still on for a top 3 in the championship. Willem Buerta certainly got a much better gate than he was expecting, and it's also delivered him up into one of the best rides of his season as well. 3rd place, only a couple of minutes off the overall winner on the morning session as well. Buerta, watch out for this dude. Franco Ferri was up there into a number 2 spot, but he was the closest rider in the morning session on the back wheel of Murray Smith. Eventually, the gap between these two riders at the end of the just over 2 hours of racing in the morning session was less than a minute. Franco Ferri closing things down on Murray Smith, but just a little too late in the season, a little too race in the championship and career of Murray Smith. Smitty dominating literally every single race of the championship, with Franco Ferri closing him down and over fist in the second half of the 2023 tour. Murray, though, smashes it once again.
It was really sandy and rough. It got quite bad throughout the track, throughout the day. But yeah, we were able to make the most of the conditions and bring home the win. Yeah, it was a really good season. I can't thank Uncle Harry, the franchise co, Honda, Sleepover, my dad, and everyone else enough. They wouldn't have been possible without them. So yeah, and we had a great season, and yeah, I hope to do it all next year again. Well, I'm not too sure. I know I'm going to be riding the 125. Don't know who I'm riding for yet, but yeah, we'll see.
Let's confirm Murray Man takes another smashing win, but Franco Ferri was on his wheel this time around. Buerta was there, Van Aspergen and Maraponi. Strong runners inside of that top 6, showing how tight that championship really is. The Junior 85s dominated by one rider, that is Drickus van der Merwe for the VW Mastercars Hatfield squad. Jake the Snake in the 2 spot for Pepsi Plastics Kawa, and Gravity Racing's Tien Pont on the number 3. On the 65cc's, JL gets it and gets the most out of his whole shot skills, getting the win ahead of Kutsia and Richards. In the 50cc gate, Camby Dupria records one of his best rides of the season, hammering the nail on Van Deventer and Deister. That was the 50s. Let's head across to the big loop for the quados.
The quads, we've got a 48 kilometer loop. Last year it was 47, so it's basically the same again. But we've used some of the junior sections at the back of the shooting range for them. So a little bit more thick sand and keeping them busy on the back before they jump over the road. When they do jump over the road, it's a brand new section that we've never used before. So some new features waiting for them. But let me tell you, we found a pearl of a path coming down from the mountain side. Rocky, but it's pebble rock sort of thing. So they're going to be busy, and it's going to be good fun for them coming down that new path just to break some of the long straights.
Let's head out there into the heat and dust of Rustenburg. Quad ladies, Barnards were joined at the hip, but only completed one lap at the end of racing play. Liesel Barnard and Nicole Barnard both bowing out at the end of lap number 1. That's going to hurt them in their championship challenge. Koen Brits did the best that she could, but it was really tough conditions for the quads out there, especially for the ladies. Brits tagging 2 laps counted. Celeste Berger going on the lead lap, so she's become a really tough and hardened rider. Celeste Berger fighting for the championship, remember. 3 laps counted, number 2 spot finish for her. Gnarly Carly was out there getting the job done. If you look at the overall lap times, she was out there for 3 hours and 45 minutes and only completed 3 laps. That tells a story of how tough the morning conditions were. For the quad veterans, Rudy Brits, who was the whole shot superstar and banging bars nice and aggressive on lap number 1, did fade like a flower towards the end there. 5 spot for him, 2 laps scored and counted. David de Vet, we call him the diesel engine, riding out of QCon EMD squad. He brought it home for another point-scoring haul in a number 4 spot, and he stayed on the lead lap. Johan Bronkhorst, who switches between the big 4x4 Can-Am and a big Raptor this time around. He brought out the big 4x4 with a little bit of local knowledge. Hopefully it helped him out in his challenge to get the best ride he possibly could. 3rd place was good for his points haul, but Mario Buerta has been coming on strong on the LTR 450, and once again he brings home a high finish in a number 2 spot, but he was still over 5 minutes off the eventual race winner. Francois Smallberger Sr. has been hammered to nail the whole way through the 2023 Championship Tour. The C355 records yet another win, and one step closer to the big number 1 trophy. Masters category, Fernando dos Santos came all the way out from Dahlstrom to complete 1 lap of the event. Unfortunately, conditions getting the most of Fernando on the L75. 2 laps scored and counted for Philip Boyce. Also looked like he succumbed to the conditions out there. And the big fast KTM rider, unfortunately only completing 2 laps, dropping down to a number 3 ride finish. That allowed Darren Moyle, the stocker as we call him, to stay on the lead lap. 3 laps counted. 2nd place for him. And one of his best rides on the tour. And not too far off the back wheel of a classy ride coming out of the comeback kid, Xander Branken, for 421 Racing Development. Branken brought his big 450 Can-Am home, and he stayed inside of a top 10 in the overalls on the day as well. The most competitive category on the morning session is the Quad Q2s. Davy Van Staden always fires out of the gate strong on the big 4x4, but he can only complete 1 lap of racing come the end of play. Calvin Jens van Vuren records one of his best rides of the season with number 5, and a 2-time Gxcc winner in 2023. JJ Batenbach didn't find the going as good as he wanted out here in Rusties, but he still was on the lead lap, which means he was still competitive. 4th place for him, and then captain 3rd place, Rian Dick for MD QCon, brings it home for another solid number 3 ride. Only 10 minutes off the eventual race winner for Dick as well. Tinas Kutzer was the closest, bringing home a number 2 spot, 4 minutes off the eventual race winner, just showing that the Gravity Racing star has got wins up his sleeve when it all goes his way. So Kutzer with a number 2 spot means that Hannes Simon takes us back in time as we hear the screaming Banshee out there, wide open and pinned in the challenging terrain of Rustenburg. Simon not only took the win in category, but also took the overall on the day. Up in the Q1s, Brian Herbst had some mechanical issues. That has been his Achilles heel the whole way through the championship tour, but incredibly enough, on the day, it was also mechanical that sent Franco Pretorius out the back door. But importantly, Pretorius did finish 1 position higher than Herbst. That's important for the championship as well. Kubis Knutzer was up there in a number 2 spot. That gives him his best ride of the season as well, finishing 2nd place in a very tough competition of the Q1s. Really wasn't that far off the eventual race winner in the Q1s, Ruan Miller. Miller also becomes a new winner on the tour in 2023, taking advantage of the mechanical problems coming into play for Pretorius and Herbst. So welcome to the top step, Ruan Miller. After the challenging quad race in the morning session, we chatted to some of the superstars.
Yeah, look, racing a Banshee is hard work. It's not easy as a 450, but I'm trying to keep old school Banshees alive. 2-stroke for life. Yeah, I just want to take my hat off to Vian and the team. One of the best routes I've raced the whole year. Really nice and technical, especially for the quads. I mean, this first 10k through the bushes, it's really nice. Tight, you never get out of 2nd gear, and then the rest of the track extremely rocky, just the way I love it. Yeah, it's always a difficult one. I want to race both bikes and quads, but I honestly prefer the enduro side on the bikes, and the Gxcc's quads is just the best thing for me to do.
Here we go then, confirmation of a new winner on the tour. Ruan Miller takes the win in the Q1s ahead of Knotzer, Pretorius and Herbst. For the Q2s, Hannes Simon hammers his point home with the screaming Banshee, but Kutzer was right there with him in the number 2 spot ahead of Dick and Batenbach.
And then in the Quad Masters, Xander Branken comes back to the top step with his return to racing, getting the win ahead of Moyle, Boyce and De Santos. In the Quad Vets, all about Francois Smallberger. He is dominating the season ahead of Buerta, Bronkhorst, De Vet and Brits. And for the ladies, Gnarly Carly Simon gets another win going, climbing the ladder up the overall order ahead of Berger, Brits and the Barnards. That was the morning session for juniors and quads. Hold your breath for the big bikes. All the motorcycle riders will have been keeping a keen eye on how the morning session went for the quads, because of course that was the track that they'd be going out on. Before we went and chatted to the rest of the riders about the race, we had a competition to talk about, and we headed to chat to Bew from Motos Klerksdorp.
Yeah, so we're giving away this bike. We're borrowing it to the camera crew for all the Gxccs, the nationals, and they use it for the footage. And we decided, well, we have to keep it for a year, so why not raffle it at the end of the year? So on the last Gxcc, we'll have a raffle at the prize giving, and some lucky winner can have it for $250. Anybody can enter if they're not related to me. They welcome or work for my staff at Motos. Then you R250 for a ticket. If you buy 4 tickets for 1,000 Rand, you get 2 tickets for free. So you go onto our website www.motos.co.za, click on the raffle, and it'll take you through all the steps.
Yeah, so today's a very big day. Yeah, I need to do my best and take it as it comes. Oh, I had a great season so far. I had 2 races that I had a little bit of mechanicals. Unfortunately, one of them is a DNF. So yeah, and that cost me a little bit. But yeah, the rest of the season were awesome. I think the whole shot is gonna play a big role. So we're gonna try our best to do that, and then from there we take it from there. Yeah. Yes, I just want to give Bew from Klerksdorp Motos a very big thank you for everything he does for me, and yeah, I will Mark from Henderson Racing Products for making sure everything is sorted for every race.
Yeah, 9 points. Sure, very pity to hear about Yanni. I mean, we wish him all the best. He's a great competitor. Lovely on the track and off the track. So yeah, we just wish you all the best, Yanni. It's going to be a long road to recovery, but I'm sure he's going to be up and running before we know it. So yeah, 9 points off. I see Lawrence isn't here today, so yeah, it's in it to win it today. We need to have a good race, keep it clean, just get to the end without any incidents, and yeah, then we should hopefully go into the final one in Carltonville, I think. Probably, hopefully in the lead. So God willing, we'll get that right. I think we started off really good. It was a positive, man. We had one little hiccup at Radium where we destroyed a wheel bearing, and it just shows you that it's so fierce. The competition's so tough to fight back from that. It's really been a hard slog. So thanks to Schimmel's Yamaha, and I mean Yamaha themselves for giving us a bike, giving us a ride this year. They're looking forward to doing it again next year. So we just want to say thank you to Schimmel's Yamaha, especially to Yamaha themselves, Mark, Adrian, everybody there back at Yamaha for giving me the ride. And yeah, look, we just it's onwards and upwards. Seniors has become the new OR1, so the OR1 of 10 years ago. So look, it's always nice to have the competition. It's brilliant out there. So yeah, I mean we're in it to win it, and yeah, let's just keep the wheels on the ground. Today's going to be tough. Today's going to be a race of attrition. I think once we get down into that valley there, we are going to melt. So yeah, lots of hydration today. Again, I think it's just going to be literally keeping it together. I'm hoping that we can get some wind up. I see the mercury was up at 32 already, and it's only 11:30 in the morning. So I think by 2 o'clock we'll be reaching 36, 40 degrees. So it's going to be hot out there. Again, yeah, just another reason just to try and concentrate hard, make sure that we make good decisions, don't do anything stupid, and get back to the end so we can have an ice cold bevy.
Yeah, season's been up and down. Peter's had a good consistent one. It's good to have him back here. With all the championship, him back in stake with both of us, it's a good competition. But yeah, racing on the day counts at the end of the day. Gxcc is leading that championship. I'm leading the Northern region. So, keep the points ahead there. But yeah, as I say, it always happens on the day, and hopefully we can just get a good run today and come in safe that day. Yeah, dust is going to be a huge factor. At the start line, we have to get a whole shot. Otherwise, we are going to battle because it's going to be hectic up there. So yeah, let's put it to play, and let's hopefully everything happens and comes in good at the end of the day. Yeah, big shout out to, all our sponsors. I've got a lot of sponsors that really help us, that keep the wheels turning, as you call it. But a big shout out to Bikers West, but all these guys you see in the background. If it's not for them, we couldn't be here. We're very blessed to be sponsored by a lot of our guys. And Bikers West, just big kudos to all the guys and our pit crew. Love them to bits.
Yeah, I must say, it's been I think a very consistent season from our side, from the Gxccs. It's definitely, obviously, I've been at every race, at consistent finishes. Hopefully, I can bag the win today to add that to the championship. I think it's very close. I haven't really checked. I think it's 5 points if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, it's close racing. Obviously, with a new point system, it's going to be lekker. It's going to be tight racing, which I'm keen for. It's hot today, so I think it's going to be a tough day out, but I'm keen for it. No, definitely. When I watched the quads this morning, it was a bit. It's quite insane the amount of dust, but it's part of it. Everyone has to go through it. So definitely, all shot's going to be key. I've been practicing my starts, feeling good about that. So honestly, just gonna hope for a good day, hope for a good start, and then we'll see what we can do from there on out. Yeah, no, definitely. It brings back good memories. Just thinking back from last year as well with Derek. So obviously, it's always nice to have some close racing, which I'm keen for. I think the class is stacked. There's 5-6 guys that can win. All of them are on top form. We'll see how the day unfolds. Yeah, just a massive shout out. It's lucky to have a big team back again. Everyone back here. Some Angeli, Motocross and Statesmith as well. Having them here is also nice. Just a massive shout out to him, Ian. He's been helping me a tremendous amount, just prepping the bike, and Damien, the mechanic, back at the shop. So just big shout out to our sponsors, Motul, Bikewise from Servies, Michelin, Rental, all these guys, Gxcc South Africa. Just a big shout out to everyone. I think without them, obviously, this is not possible. Just a true blessing to actually be here. I'm really very, very grateful for all the people in my corner.
Yeah, I should be leading at the moment, but it's very close. We still have a couple of guys that, even Peter and them, if they win the next races, then they should take the championship. So it's very tight between us, but it keeps it interesting. Yeah, I was fortunate enough to have no problems throughout the year, so I'm hoping to just end it well and try again next year. Yeah, I see the dust is very bad. I think a big part of it is going to be the start, and then just to keep it safe throughout the day. Yeah, I would like to thank all of the sponsors that have been with me. It's really been a picture perfect year for me. Other than not getting the win, I think it's been a good first year with them. I hope we can continue.
It's been great. First season in the pros, which is always a big step. Feels a bit gnarly starting up front now and not having so much dust in front of me all the time. First few races went pretty well. I got, I think, a third, and my best this season was a third, which I'm stoked about. And unfortunately, at Dalmas, hurt my knee. I've been out. At least we had a lot of time to recover for that. But today, hoping to get up front and bang bars. Yeah, there's no good way out of the situation we're in. But after second lap, when everyone kind of sets their gaps, it should be better. Just try to keep the risks at a low, and it should be good. 100%. MCA have done so much for me. With the sponsoring the bikes, kits, really appreciate it. MCA all the way.
Unbelievable. I really didn't expect this. I was just like, come back and ride my own race and see what happens, and here we are. Second last race start for the championship. Wouldn't expect that ever, but having fun, having some awesome battles with the guys, so loving the racing. This is the day. You have to. If you don't, you're gonna eat dust the whole day. So let's see. I think I only got one oil shot in my whole racing career. So hopefully we make it 2 this time. So let's see what happens. But yeah, luckily I hear there's some nice sand sections, so I can make up time there. But hopefully I'm in the front and I can just go. What a season, yeah. So awesome having Grant behind me and Gxcc South Africa and Mark Henderson supporting with all the tires and all the just one kick. Yes, I look sick this whole year. I think this is the year I look the best, and I'm like, yo. So very spoiled, very blessed. The Lord keeping me safe every race. Can't be more happy.
Yeah, so far actually I think I had quite a good season and very consistent racing. So far every time it's been on the podium steps, so I'm happy with that. today again, we're going to go out. Hopefully I can get that podium step, just get those points on the board. And yeah, me and Ian are tied on points. So yeah, it is going to be a bit of pressure today between me and him. And yeah, let the best man win today. And obviously let us bring it back home safely. Yeah, there's so much dust today, but this is Rustenburg. It's always been like this. We know the terrain, we know how it's going to be. The number one goal is getting that hole shot, trying to pull a bit of a gate, getting that advantage with the dust. And yeah, I think that will help give you a major advantage for today. So let's hopefully I don't stall it or jinx myself right now. But yeah, hopefully it's a good start today and yeah, push to the end. So thank you very much. Yeah, Flippin' team, we've got a full house today. The Pepsin Plastics Gxcc team is ready as always. And yeah, good luck to all my fellow competitors.
All right, with the lap of the pits out the way, let's bring him to the line. The Pro OR1 gate had a new rider on it, and that was Kieran Fitzgerald. He was going for the cheese and the whole shot. It looked like the 2 KTM factory boys were going to run the numbers out front. Kieran and Scotty getting through the maze, but the tyres was the undoing of Kieran Fitzgerald. Wheelied in, thought they were going to be a little bit softer than that, but they kicked him up and over the bars, and it would affect his race. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Right now, Dav Cocker got the cheese coming out of the OR2 gate, but would he be able to fight the dust and see clear air to see the checkers come the end of play and see if he could take another overall? In the OR3s, we also had some new blood coming into play. Slade Smith from the world of international motocross was there, as was Ryan Angley. And it looked like the 2 Pepsin Plastics Kawasaki boys were going to work well together in the early stages. But Palser was also on a burner. In the high school 125, Westerdale finally gets a whole shot. He hasn't seen clear air all the way through the season, but he saw the tyres first, himself and Karam. On the Moto Klerksdorp Yamaha, ran 1 and 2. For the seniors category, Kochi knew exactly what he had to do. He almost fluffed his lines as well. 2 riders getting in front of him, but coming out of the maze, it was the Shimwell's Yamaha factory rider that got clear air, and he breathed a massive sigh of relief coming out of that one. For the Masters Gate, all the big players were there, and all 3 of them ran 1, 2, and 3. Kerbershonk, the Viking, Farmer, and Holm. Clear air was what everyone wanted. For the veterans class, Martin Poole on the Shimwell's Yamaha has been a standout rider on the season and the championship, but this time around he had an informed Swuchers and Dick Messenger to play with. The Pro-Am category, finally we got some good numbers on the page for the Pro-Am OR1s. Chris Thompson Sr. was there, Henry Pretorius, and Barry Smith on the Yami would be the rider to watch out for as he saw the tyres first and ran. Pro-Am OR2 gave us also almost a 10-rider gate as they all went banging bars out there. The Pro-Am riders would be straight into the dust of the Pro categories. Stratham charging himself up into a number 2 spot coming out of the tyres. And then on the Pro-Am OR3s, Francois Smallberger on a borrowed bike on a Yami running some good numbers, but Keanu Fisser on the championship was the rider to watch out for. Pro-Am OR4s has been a revelation in 2023, giving some of our junior riders a chance to go out and taste what the big track looks like. Drickus van der Merwe, obviously heading up a category for next year, was out there for the first time on the big loop. For the ladies pro gate, a modest entry this time around. Nicole Duplessis, the pocket rocket out of Roost, and Henderson Racing got it done ahead of Natasha Tapuch. And then on the Pro-Am ladies gate, the little mini pocket rocket that is Nicole Compan saw clear air and tried to stay out ahead of the rest of the chasing ladies. What was in store for the rest of the afternoon? Hot, dusty, and challenging conditions out in Rustenburg.
Yeah, so as you know, every year October is our cancer or breast cancer awareness month. So today's race is going for that. There's a bit of fundraising that's happening, and the crew from I Love Boobies are going to be here and doing some sales on socks and so on to gather some funds for breast cancer. So yeah, we're all excited. Guys are dressed up in pink and tutus and pink bras and swapping tires and everything, so the guys are going all out. They're having good fun. No, for sure. It's the last 2 rounds are so important. When you're in the championship and you miss a round now, you're throwing those points away. It is dusty and dry out there. We've been praying for rain, but unfortunately it didn't come. So we're trying to keep the guys in the thick sand, some of the clay ground hardpack, which doesn't kick up too much dust, and then some rocky sections as well. But they need to be focused and stay alert. We've marked a lot of areas with chip dangers, and they need to respect it and make sure they come home in one piece.
Tough and challenging conditions for the afternoon session. The numbers on the page tell the story. Ladies Pro-Am gate, Shelley and Nicole Compon only doing 1 lap, as well as Myrtle Teron. Danielle Janssen van Rensburg on 2 laps, and then eventual race winner Bianca Edwards on a 2-lap count as well. Tough conditions for the ladies out there. On the pro gate, similar story. Morelli following with a 1-lap count. Nicole Duplessis, even with her skills, only 1 lap counted for her. Natasha Tabuch, though, toughed it out. One of the toughest riders out there, and it shows on her championship challenge. She's brought home high finishes at every single round. This win at Rustenburg will be one that she will remember. Into the OR4 category, where we also saw new blood coming in. Chris Homser Jr. stepping onto a 250F for the first time and looking comfortable with 2 laps scored and counted. Up the road from him, one of the stalwarts of the class, Carl Wilmerans, and then Drickus van der Merwe starting to enjoy his time out there on the big loop. 3 laps scored and counted after racing high and winning his category in the morning session. Mamo Skuman into a number 4, with Stefan de Klerk up the road from him taking a number 3 ride, bouncing his way on the KTM up to a podium. Peter Collin records his highest ever Gxcc finish on the OR4 category, but he had to take a big beat as well. It was well over 10 minutes for eventual race winner and multiple race winner off this gate, John Bart Moritz. Moritz has very much made this category his own in 2023. For the OR3s, as we start to climb the ladder in the Pro-Am category, had some strong finishes, most of them finishing inside of the race count lap. Estienne Kutzer with a number 6 ride. Brent Herbst back from his early season woes with a broken wrist, looking like he's almost back up to full pace with the number 5 ride. Dion Porter coming out of Gravity Racing, enjoying his time on the bars there, up to a number 4 with Francois Smallberger, like I said in the pre-race, on a borrowed machine, keeping his championship hopes high with a 3rd place ride. Ruben Stratum dancing his way through to a number 2. He came out the gate nicely, did the C2, and he remains in the number 2 spot. But Keanu Fisser, who got the cheese, got the whole shot, saw the tyres first, and started to wag his tail, ran up the road, putting 10 minutes into his closest rival. In the OR2 Pro-Ams, interesting conditions for the riders as they went straight out the gate into the dust bowl. Nathan Spiro up to a number 6 ride. Jaco Nordia, who was challenging for championships just a couple of seasons back, in his comeback tour on a number 5 ride. The second of the Stratum brothers, that's Benru on the C215, waving the flag nicely for the family once again to a podium to a number 4. Xander King getting it done on the Blue Smoke YZ250. Most challenging races for him out there, but he said the technical nature did suit his riding style and his machine, and it did prove in his lap times as well. Stoffberger up the road into a number 2 spot, not too far off the win, 7 minutes for eventual race winner Tristan Bontekonen to go out front and run and hide. The gaps were so big out at Rustenburg between race winners and 2nd place because of the dust gaps. If you got the whole shot, you were gone. In the big bangers in the OR1 Pro-Ams, medium-sized Shane Nienober for VW Mastercars Hatfield gets it done with a number 6 ride, with the big boss Chris Homser finding a track that suited his riding style and the setup on his machine to a number 5 ride. Marius Lombard for the EMZ QCon Racing Squad took it to a comfortable number 4. All riders staying on the lead lap of 3. Ben Vessels was charging hard nicely, setting himself up with a good gate into a number 3 ride. wasn't far off second place as well. Henry victorious. Those two separated by around about a minute the whole way through the day. Caitlin's dad showing us how it's done on the Bruce KTM 79 machine. Second place for him, but it was the Yamaha man that ran out front. Riding for Old School Customs, Barry Smith. Eyes on the prize, taking more wins than anyone else out there on the Big Banger Pro-Am OR1 gate, cementing his name at the top of the championship standings. Into the age group classes, where veteran rider Stefan Bagnall got it done with a number 4 ride. Willem Swickers challenged and stretched himself on the Yami to get himself up there to a number 3 ride. VW Mastercars Hatfield rider Dick Bessinger improved on the season with one of his highest finishes, second place, out there in the Dust Bowl of Rusties. Lonan Bull on the Shimwell's Racing Yamaha showed his skill, class and poise as well. Never flustered at all. Booley brings it home for another win. He's heading to a big number 1 spot. He's dominated this category in 2023. For the Masters class, who went out banging, JJ Duvall on a number 7, Bert Smith on a number 6, both riders bowing out after 1 lap of racing. Conrad Edwards was up there, 3 laps scored and counted for him, as well as Francois Wonderful. Kurbishon, who gated well but dropped down to an eventual 3rd place, dropped out of the lead lap. 4 laps scored and counted for Wayne Farmer and Peter Hall, who once again went at it. But the business of banging cars, Hall eventually putting a scant 1 minute into Farmer for the win at Rusties. Senior category has been an interesting one, with a lot of the key riders in the championship not coming and showing up at Rustenburg for the penultimate round of the series. It meant a lot of people could benefit and get at points haul coming out of this round. Ryan Smith was down there in a number 6 with Ryan Cock in a number 5. Conrad Sieber and then Pierre Buschholz getting it done with a number 3 ride. Pierre recording his highest finish of the season with that 3rd place finish. JJ Rousseau up there into a number 2 spot, also recording his highest run of the 2023 Seniors Championship Challenge. But it was eventual race winner, the man that came into this round with a plan. Get the whole shot, get out, and get gone. Kochi on the factory Shimwell's Yamaha, now in charge of the championship. For the high school gate, Jason Leslie gated inside of the top 4, but unfortunately had problems throughout the day. Only recorded 2 laps on the score counter. Tino Bellington up there in a number 8 with Jean-Andre Vermaat, one of our junior upstarts, getting it done to a number 7. Johan Hamsa into a number 6. And then the pace started to pick up as we broke into the top 5. Cameron Farrell, who has been doing laps big time, loves the cross-country circuit, Gxccs and the Nationals, records a number 5 finish with Alex Krobler. Is definitely going to be running inside of the top 4 in the championship challenge come the end of play. Nathan Westerdale, who got his first ever hole shot out here at Rustenburg, but unfortunately couldn't run with the pace of the big dogs out there. 3rd place though will still keep him in the championship hunt. Clarkey has been on a burner in the second half of the 2023 championship. 2nd place for him and not too far off the win, eventually losing out by just under 4 minutes to Derek Karam. He's an outside bet for the championship because he has had problems on the tour, but rides like this will keep his chin up on the Moto Klerksdorp Yami. Into the pro categories then, as we climb up the road, Curvis Vesta having problems on the day, as well as Peter Karam, only scoring and tagging 2 laps before having to retire. Slade Smith, a similar issue for him after an amazing gate on the Pepsi Plastics Kawasaki. Stefan Smith almost stayed on the lead lap, 3 laps scored and counted for him, with Ryan Angley staying on the lead lap after also a strong gate. 6th place for him and his teammate up the road, Björn Wenzel. Dust was a big issue for the 250 riders, as they are such a compact group. Everyone running very similar numbers inside of the top 10. Up the road from Wenzel with Tyron Beverly. Beverly battling with his starts once again, but coming on strong in the second half of the race to record a 4th place finish and make himself the highest placing Honda rider out there. Newly crowned national cross-country and multiple cross-country champion, Matty Wilson on the factory brother leader tread KTM. 3rd place for him, also fluffed his lines off the gate. Eric Merry, number 2 spot for him. still a mathematical chance of being able to win his Gxcc championship, but Ryan Pelser was the main man, recording a win and second place overall on the day. Into the OR2 Pro Gate, where Matty Sneyman rocked it out there for the two smokers. 2 laps scored and counted for him. Barney Barnard up the road in 7th, and CD Chrisson on the privately entered Husqvarna to a number 6 ride. Big Merry, that's Ruan Merry, rolled out the 350, got himself up the road there to a number 5 ride. Jannis Janssen looking in good form once again for Old School Customs. He's going to be climbing the ladder in the Championship Challenge, possibly breaking his way into the top 3. 4th place for him. Brad Burrell, who came out banging on the season. 3rd place for him. Teek Harrower challenging hard into a number 2 spot for the MCA Gas squad. Dav Cocker taking another win in the OR2s. Not the overall, but another class victory. OR1 Big Bangers, stories on the day. Fitzgerald bowing out after lap 1. Then it was Ash Engelbrecht. Rudy Vieira, the privately entered rider, on a number 8 ride. Brendan Kotzer getting his hurry up going into a number 7. Cosmos Mamalukas looking all eyes on the prize for a top 6 in the championship. 6th place on the day. JC Nienaber came into this round tied on points with the brawler. This is now going to change with his 5th place ride after a couple of dives into the dirt and the bush. Wade Den coming back from injury, showing some good form in a number 4 spot. And Brawler 3rd place, even though he had some intermittent electrical problems on his machine. A very rare situation for him. 3rd place though, keeps him in the championship points lead. John Puerta hammering it on the big factory Honda to a number 2 spot. His best ever ride of the season for sure. And Scotty Haygate, previous round Gxcc winner and overall winner, and he goes 2 for 2, scoring big numbers in the second half of the tour. Let's chat to the lads after the race.
Yeah, we always try and put ourselves in good positions on the start, and I think I did that pretty well. Unfortunately, Kiram did go down in the start, and that gave me quite a lot of clear track up ahead. Otherwise, I think it would have been a pretty incredible battle with Kiram. I hope he's all right, and yeah, we'll go and see what exactly happened there. But yeah, overall really chuffed with how today went. I wasn't sure what to expect because I haven't really ridden the bike since the National in Bloem. So came here as just have fun and just have some more time on the 450 and see what we could do today. And yeah, I think by getting out in front it put me in a good spot, and I just put down some solid laps and controlled the race from there. But yeah, can't thank everyone behind the scenes enough, to the whole Brother Leader Tread KTM team, to Uncle Kev, to my parents, just everyone in my corner. Thank you very much. And yeah, I think this is probably going to be my last race this season, and take some time off now and get ready for 2024. So yeah, thank you to everyone that made this year possible.
Yeah, I think I've gelled with a 450. That was a flippin' lack a day. And yeah, I'm actually impressed with myself. I don't think I would do this good. It was dusty, but I had a good start. But it was rocky and up and down. But it suited me well. And yeah, thank you to my team and TFC Talkcraft Honda for all their support to Talkcraft, Cycleworks Suspension, and all the others that helped me, my family. Thank you. Good stepping stone. I'm making some moves in the championship, but yeah, next year we'll do our thing and then do well.
Definitely, it wasn't as tough as I thought it was going to be. It was quite nice, very rocky and dangerous in some places, but it was well marked and you just had to keep your eyes open. Unfortunately, it was really, really dusty for everyone, but I mean, everyone rode the track, so it wasn't just for one person, and that is what it is. If the track had a bit of water, it would have been a very, very nice track, but I'm happy with what I did. I just cruised today, took it easy because I didn't want to make any mistakes with last Motocross National coming up and anything like that. So just got the win in my class, and I'm happy where I finished today. Yeah, I did miss one of the races, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, I tried the 450 out, and that was good. So I need to just wrap up the 350 championship, so one more race and then we're done.
Yeah, I'm really happy I got a good start. I think I was third into the first corner and then second out onto the track. I'm very, very happy I got a good start. Otherwise, even just catching the guys in front of us, it was difficult trying to get past everyone and keeping a good pace. I haven't had the best year this year, but I think this is definitely my best result. Best finish this year at Gxcc, first in class, and second overall so far, provisional.
Yeah, this morning I told myself I need to get a good start, and I came out second. And yeah, it's very dusty outside there, and it was very difficult. But yeah, I brought it home and managed to get the win, and I think I'm 1 point ahead in the championship again now. Yeah, the last race is going to be very interesting. It's the same as last year, more or less. It's not with Vian, but yeah, it's going to be exact the same as last year, but we're looking forward to it. I just want to thank you, Mbu, from Moto Slagsdorp, for doing everything for me and getting my bike race ready every time. And my dad, my mom, and Uncle Justin from CycleWorks. And yeah, thank you, Uncle Mark from Henderson Racing Products, for everything you do for me.
Yeah, no, that was a long day out there. Very, very dusty, bumpy, rough. Still good track. I mean, thanks to Vian and Gxcc for putting together yet again a immaculate track. Good test of everything. Some high speed, some bumps, some corners, some sand, some rocks. So yeah, roof prep done, ready for roof now. But yeah, no, all in all, it was a great race. Went out there, tried to make sure that we could get out in front and stay in front. And yeah, leading the championship, so one race to go. We just got to hold it together. Just want to thank everybody, Tyler, Sean, Shimwells for the great work in the pits, keeping me hydrated, getting me out there. And yeah, thanks to everybody for putting this together. And yeah, we're looking forward to the next one.
It was much tougher than what I expected. I thought I'm going to take it cool today. I'm a little bit sick. And the first lap I fell back, and I thought I'll settle for third. And when I came in the second round, Ian told me that I'm 60 seconds behind. And the first 2 rounds I really battled in the sand in the back section. And I thought if I could make a second every turn, I can make up a minute. And I caught Quibus at the end of the sand section. And it took me a while. He was in front of me on the straights again. Very dusty, battled to caught him. And when I caught him, I saw Wayne. They were together, and I was lucky to pass them. Yeah, it worked out well. Yeah, I thought the third one would be the last one with the time that the quads put on, but obviously I was a little bit distorted when they said I must go out for another one. But at the end I enjoyed it. The bike handled well, and the Kawasaki's got sheer power, I must say. When I had to pass Wayne, you needed that power, and the suspension, the Blue Nut suspension, worked well on the hard pack and in the sand. And strongs to Leon for always sorting out my suspension.
All right, that was the words. Let's talk about the numbers. OR1 Pros, Haygate getting it over Buerta, Roll, Den and Nienaber, but it's Roll that now extends his points lead heading to the final round. OR2 Pros, Dav Cocker, a comfortable win by his own count, you can see that, but check out the gap between himself, Harrower, Burrell, Janssen and Merry, with Goosen in a solid number 6. OR3 Pro category, Ryan Peltzer, welcome back to form, brother. A nice big win in the OR3 Pros and a second place overall, putting Merry, Wilson, Beverly, Wenzel and Angeli down to the cheap seats. High school category, Derek Caron back on winning form for the Moto Klerksdorp Yamaha squad, with Clarkey, Westerdale, Krobler, Ferrell and Harmser taking us to a Sweet 6. Senior Pros, Kochi getting the job done. This will be his turning point of the season as he heads into the final round with a points buffer lead ahead of his championship rivals. For the Masters category, close as you like. Great bar banging action coming out of Peter Hall, Farmer and Yonk as they went 1, 2 and 3 with Swanepoel, Edwards, Smitty and Duvall. For the veterans class, Martin Poole, no drama, no issue. Another big win ahead of Bessinger, Swickers and Bagnall. Into the Pro-Am category with the big bangers, Barry Smith extends his championship points lead with yet another win ahead of Henry Pretorius, Vessels, Lombard, Harmser, Nienaber, Vanny Kirk and Blake. For the OR2 Pro-Am category, Bonsakunen looks like he's going to be a big championship threat as he takes another win ahead of Berger. Xander King waving the flag for the Blue Smokes ahead of Stratum, Nordia and Spiro. Nice to see Nordia back and banging at almost full race pace again. For the OR3 Pro-Ams, all about Visser getting it done ahead of Stratum and Smallberger with Buerta, Herbst and Kutzer into a number 6. OR4 sees the familiar name of John Bart Moritz at the tippy top step, getting it done over Colin de Klerk, Schoeman, Van der Merwe, Wilmerans and Harmser. And into our ladies' gate with the pro ladies, Natasha Tapuch. 3 laps counted in those tough conditions, proving she's a worthy champion ahead of Duplessis and Fotheringham. And for the Pro-Am ladies, Bianca Edwards toughing it out on the Yammy to get the win ahead of Jens van Rensburg, Teron and the Compounds. That was all of the action from the penultimate round of the Gxcc Championship Tour in 2023. Rustenburg will be remembered as one of the toughest races out there. We hold our breath and get ready for the end of November, where we head to the final round out at Carletonville. All this Gxcc racing action is brought to you by VW Mastercars Hatfield.
Okay, so that brings us into the closing stages of the 2023 championship. One more round of the Gxcc's. That's going to be late November out at Carletonville. For us, we're going to be covering the next round of the Farm Jam Championship, a double points round, and that is going to be out just across the road from Isiala. So kind of where we started the season is where we're going to end it. So it's out the back door of Middelburg. Get those entries in for the Farm Jam. I'm going to be going up there next week and chatting to Leon and Rowan, see what they've got in store for us. But get those entries in. It's double points and it's key for the championship. It's going to be a rock and roller. They say it's going to have a little bit more flow than the previous round did at Hardy Beer Sports. So don't get worried, guys. It's not going to be a first, second gear. It's going to be more second, third gear race. So you guys are going to have a lot of fun as we close in on the end of the season. We're also looking down the road at the final round of the Forge Racing Championship. That's going to be early days, so early to mid-November, and we're going back to the Bronx. But the boys are bringing in the big machinery for this one. They're going to grade it, scrape it, rip it, make it lacquer, because last time around it was whooped out big time. That's going to be not a worry for any of us, because they're going to bring in all the heavy machinery and make sure alles is mooi. Then we start thinking about going forward into the roof and maybe the last couple of like bonus events. No one's told us anything about that just yet, but for now we're closing in. So that was Rusties. That was the penultimate round of the Gxcc's. We now head into the final rounds of all of our tours. Get those entries in, and as always, we'll see you on the line.